Hello and welcome to this channel. Today we are exploring the top packages on pub.dev. When you go to pub.dev, if you scroll down, you will see most popular packages. So we are going to talk about the top 10 most popular packages. Please note that these popular packages change over time, so your popular package might not be the same as mine. So these are the top packages in pub.dev. If you are very new to Flutter and don't know what pub.dev is, you can think of it as a treasure trove of pre-built solutions. You have lots of packages on pub.dev so that you don't need to reinvent the packages and you don't need to write the packages from scratch. You just import them to your application and just use them. Each package on pub.dev comes with metrics to help you evaluate its quality, like download counts to tell you how many times the package has been downloaded, likes from other developers, points that provide the overall popularity score, and you can also see the platform compatibility as well. So let's start with package 1, HTTP. This package has over 9 million downloads, and this is an essential package that provides a composable multi-platform future-based API for HTTP requests. And we can see that it has over 8,000 likes as well. This package is the foundation for most network communication in Dart applications. Let's look at how we can use this package to make requests from an API. I'm using dartpad.dev that provides a simple environment to showcase the code. First, we need to import our package. We import the http.dart as HTTP so that we can use the HTTP in our code. Next, we have a function which is going to be a future function. So we need the future void and async keywords. If you are not familiar with these terms and concepts, I have a video explaining all about this topic. And then we use http.get, and then we provide the API that we want to get the data from. We use await keyword for this request. Then we need to check the response if it is successful or not. So we check the status code. If it is 200, which means that it is successful, and we can print the data using response that we get from the API .body. It's going to show the response data. The code 200 is from standard protocol of HTTP. Each code has a meaning, like 200, 400, 500. You can search for these codes. Then if the response is in JSON format, you may need to decode the JSON. You can use JSON decode and then provide the response body to get the decoded data from JSON, and then you can use, for example, user data and then name to get the value. And if the status code is not 200, which means it is not successful, we are going to print the response.status code. Obviously, you can go further and handle this error by getting into detail of what the error is about and so on. What makes this package so powerful is its simplicity and flexibility. Beyond using get request, you can use other methods as well, like post, put, delete, and other methods. Again, these are specific protocols in HTTP. You can look these up. This package works across all platforms: Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, web, and Windows, which makes it universal for Dart and Flutter developers. The next package is Provider. With almost 4 million downloads and more than 10,000 likes, Provider is one of the most beloved packages in Flutter. It provides a wrapper around inherited widget to make them easier to use and more reusable. For each package, if we click on the package name, we go to the specific page that describes the package. So you can take a look at the description, what it does, and then a simple example of that package and how to use it. In this case, we have a long documentation of how to use this package, which is very good to provide all the details. You can also take a look at changelog to see how it changes over time. Example provides a full example code of a sample application. Installation, it gives you example of how to install the package in your application. The version provides different versions, and scores provide the metrics of this package. To use this provider package, we first import the material and provider packages. Then we create a data model. For example, we have a class called counter with change notifier. This change notifier is part of the provider and is going to notify us when there is a change. Inside the class, we have count and then the usual initializer, and then we have increment, which is going to increment the value of count. And then we have this notify listeners that notifies all the listeners that data has been changed. Then inside the main, we wrap the entire app with change notifier provider. And when anything changes, it's going to notify the application. This package solves a crucial problem in Flutter development, which is how to efficiently share and update state across widgets. Before provider, developers often had to pass data through multiple widget layers or use more complex state management solutions. Provider introduced a simpler pattern that's now the recommended approach for many Flutter applications. The next package is Path Provider. It has a little more than 4 million downloads and more than 5,000 likes. Path Provider is a critical Flutter plugin for getting commonly used locations on host platform file systems. It solves a fundamental problem: how to access standard directories like documents, temporary files, etc. across different operating systems. Because as you know, Flutter works on different platforms and each platform has its own file systems and locations. So this makes it very easy to get the standard directories. To use this package, we first import material and path provider and Dart.io. You can see the errors here because it's not a Flutter package and I'm using this on Dartpad. We have a function here, access directories, and this function is a future function, returns future, and we have to use async. We use get temporary directory function to return the temporary location, then we print it. Another function we can use is get application document directory, and this returns the application documents directory. The next is to get external storage directory only on Android. We use get external storage directory function. And then we can create a file in the documents directory. We first use file function, and then we are going to use file.write as string. We provide the string that we want to write into the file, and then we print the path of the file. What makes this package so valuable is that it abstracts away platform differences. The same code works on Android, iOS, macOS, Linux, and Windows, giving you the appropriate directory for each platform. And this is essential for any Flutter app that needs to store data, store files on different platforms. The next package is equatable. This package with 4 million downloads and more than 3,000 likes helps implement value-based equality without needing to explicitly override equal and hash code. It solves a subtle but important problem in Dart, which is proper comparison of objects based on their values rather than their identity. As an example, you first import the equatable, then without equatable, you would have to manually implement equality. For example, in a class that we have string name and integer age, you need to write yourself the code to compare the objects. But let's compare it with the class that uses equatable. We have the same name and age and initializer, and then we just specify a list of objects and then get props, name and age. We just specify the properties that determine equality. And an example of using this class inside the main, we have person1 and person2. And then we just simply compare these two by mentioning person1 equal person2. And the output is true in this case. And this works with collections as well. We have a collection of person class or person object. Then we add person1 and person2 to this collection. And then we specify the person set dot length. The set only contains one entry because the objects are considered equal. This package is especially valuable in state management and testing, where you often need to compare objects based on their values rather than their identity. Without equatable, you would have to manually implement the equality and hash code for each class. The next package is Crypto. With downloads more than 7 million and likes less than 2,000. It provides implementations of SHA, MD5, and HMAC cryptographic functions. And it makes cryptographic operations straightforward and accessible. If you're not familiar, these methods, SHA, MD5, HMAC, these are very important in cryptography. We first need to import crypto, and also we need convert package. We have an example of password, which is a string we want to hash. We convert the string to bytes, and then we generate the SHA 256 hash, and then we print the hash value. Why this is important? Because when a user creates an account, for example, they provide a username and password, and you cannot store the password in a plain text in your database. You have to convert it to hash, and then you need to store it in your database. So this is very useful when you need to convert password to hash. You can also use other algorithms besides SHA-256, like MD5 or HMAC. With this package, whether you are storing passwords, verifying data integrity, or implementing authentication tokens, the cryptographic functions are essential. And this package provides capabilities with a clean and easy-to-use API that works across all platforms. Just one important note that in this package we have MD5, but this algorithm is considered cryptographically broken and should only be used for non-security purposes like checksums, because it can be cracked. The next package is Flutter block. It has 2.77 million downloads and 7.5k likes. It provides Flutter widgets that make it easy to implement in the block design pattern. This package is basically a powerful state management solution. We have an example here that starts with importing material and Flutter block packages. Then it defines states, and then it defines the events that we want to have, and we define the block. Then inside the UI, when we build it, we use the block provider, and also in other classes, we can use it as well. This is a long code and it takes time to go over and explain every detail. You can go to the package and then read through the usage of this package. It has a long documentation. The next package is Path. With over 6 million downloads and 1.5k likes, this package is a string-based path manipulation library, which works across different operating systems. It solves a fundamental problem. File paths work differently on Windows, which uses backslash, versus other systems like Linux and Mac OS, which use forward slash. As an example here, we first import the path package. Then we just join the path segments using path.join, and we provide documents, for example, projects, Flutter app, and then data.json. And it works correctly on any platform because path package adapts this based on the platform. And if we want to get the base name or file name from a path, we can use path.basename. We provide the file path. If we want to get the directory containing the file, we provide path. We use path.dri name. If we want to get the file extension, we use path.extension. We can also normalize the path with unnecessary segments using path.normalize, and then we can print to check the clean path for this particular directory. This package handles these differences between platforms automatically, which allows you to write path manipulation code once and then it works properly across all platforms. This is especially valuable for Flutter apps that need to run on multiple operating systems. The next package is Firebase Core. With 2.7 million downloads and 3,000 plus likes, it's a Flutter plugin for Firebase Core, enabling connecting to multiple Firebase applications. This package is the foundation of all Firebase services in Flutter applications. If you have used Flutter, I think this code is familiar to you. When we use Flutter in our application, we make sure that the Flutter is initialized, and then we initialize the Firebase, and now we can use the Firebase services. Firebase is a crucial backend solution for many applications, providing services like authentication, databases, storage, messaging, and analytics. And this Firebase Core package is the entry point to this system. It handles the initialization and configurations. It's the first package you will add when integrating Firebase into your Flutter project. The next package is Cached Network Image. With 2 million downloads and more than 6,000 likes, this package is a Flutter library to load and cache network images. This package solves a common challenge in mobile applications, which is efficiently displaying images from the internet while caching them for performance. As an example, this is how it is used. We first import the packages, and then we use cached network image, and then we provide the image URL. If necessary, we are going to show a progress indicator while it is loading. And if you like, you can show a placeholder while the image is loading. And if there is an error, we can show it this way, and we can configure specifications of the cache, like cache key, the maximum height disk cache, and maximum width disk cache. We can learn more about these in the package page that it explains all the usage of the package. This package improves user experience by displaying images faster after first load, reducing data usage by reusing the cached images, showing placeholders while the images load, and it provides error handling for failed downloads. It also works offline with previously loaded image. It's compatible with Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, web, and Windows. That makes it versatile for any Flutter application that displays images from the internet. Let's check out the final package, which is Package Info Plus. With 3 million downloads and more than 2,500 likes, this package is a Flutter plugin for querying information about the application package. This package helps access key information about your app at runtime. As an example code, we first import the material and the package info plus. Then we write a function, getAppInfo, which is going to be future. So we need to use async and await keywords. We use packageinfo.fromPlatform function to get the info. Inside the info, which is the return value, we can access app information. Info.appName, info.packagename, info.version, and info.build number. And then we can print them as well. This is useful for features like about screens or version checks for updates or analytics tracking, and also feature flags based on version. This package solves a common need in producing applications, which is accessing the app's version, build number, and identifiers. This is essential for features like update checks, analytics tracking, and about section. It works across Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, Windows, and web that provides a consistent API for all the platforms. So we went through all the top 10 packages in pub.dev. I hope this was helpful and you found one package that is useful for your application. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.